Take a look at this.
There is no policy of starvation in Gaza, and there is no starvation in Gaza.
Okay, well, this claim has been debunked, ridiculed even, time and again. And I'm going to show you why it's false. And that's by Israel's own numbers. So, back in 2012, an Israeli court forced the government to release an internal 2008 document from Kogat, which is an Israeli military agency that deals with administrative affairs in occupied Palestine. Now, why is that document significant? Well, it revealed that years ago, the Israeli government had come up with a set of calculations, a calorie count, if you will, food restrictions, to keep Palestinians in Gaza from malnutrition during the blockade that it's been imposing on the Strip. The main numbers were these. Palestinians in Gaza need an average of 2,279 calories per day to avoid malnutrition, which comes to just over 2,500 tons of food per day needed to enter Gaza for the entire population. Multiply that by 30, this means Gaza needs 77,000 tons of food to enter per month. Now, let's fast forward to today. The Israeli government not only denies starvation in Gaza, it keeps making unsubstantiated claims that it's actually Hamas that's stealing the aid.
Hamas robs, steals this humanitarian aid, and then accuses Israel of not supplying it.
Which has also been repeatedly debunked by Israeli military officials, the UN, and other agencies. And Israel also blamed the UN for its failure to distribute aid. But let's look at the numbers again. Israeli government numbers, that is. According to Kogat, Israel has allowed 56,000 tons of food to enter Gaza. That's in the months between March and June of this year. And here's what the UN is saying today. That more than 62,000 tons of food staples are needed just to meet the bare minimum and cover basic needs. In March, Israel issued a total blockade, so no food aid entered Gaza. April, same thing, no food aid entered Gaza. In May, after 11 weeks of a total blockade, Israel says it let in some aid, just over 19,000 tons. And in June, just over 37,000 tons they say they let in. So from March all the way to June of this year, Israel let in less than a quarter of what the UN is saying is needed just to cover the most basic of needs. At the time of recording this, at least 227 Palestinian children and adults have already died from starvation. And in addition to the thousands more severely food deprived, nearly 1,400 Palestinians were killed while seeking food. Well, some of you may ask, what about the airdrops? There's been a lot about them in the news lately. Israel permitted airdrops into Gaza over the last 2 weeks. This was then resumed by countries like Jordan, Egypt, the UAE, Germany, France. It's been reported that in these days, a total of 289 airdrops have been conducted and 305 tons of aid have been dropped into Gaza. 305 tons. That's a fraction of what's needed per day. Aid professionals have long criticized these airdrop missions because they're simply inefficient and at many times deadly. Also, they're extremely expensive. Some of these airdrops reach up to a reported $450,000 per trip. The head of UNRWA has said that airdrops cost 100 times more than trucks. Okay, so next time you hear about Israel allowing airdrops over Gaza, ask yourself this. Is this really about ending the famine conditions on the ground, or is it just a cover for the fact that Israel's government is weaponizing aid and creating starvation in Gaza?